Masterath brings the heat. Sam Elliott on repeat. Whispers of Fernandez creep. Lensing Garrow's best completes. Dirty noise loud and clear. Big God conquers fear. Feels like the end is near as England sheds another tear. The time has arrived. Lift the global trophy high. Underneath arena lights. Field formations unify. A world united till we die. Game on! 2026!
Well, 7 rounds have gone by. We still have 3 to go. We are here at week 8 of the 2026 Global Trophy, and we are here with the African Qualifiers. I am Masterath, and I'm joined alongside.
Sam Elliott, 64, and yes, we are back once again. Just for a bit of, behind the curtain kind of stuff, it's been a couple of months since we recorded the last Global Trophy video.
Yeah, it's been 7 weeks, I think, since the last
Yeah,
one.
I've been a busy man. We were recording this in October, and I had a robot event to prepare for in the middle of October, and that basically took up all of my free time.
And I had a week off.
Well,
Or I just
I'm
played
sorry.
Plants vs. Zombies
I
Heroes.
wish I did. I wish I did have a week off, but honestly, I was like absolutely like balls to the wall trying to get it, like everything ready, and in the end, it did all right. It won a fight or two, so that's good. We did that.
At least it won a fight. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here with the African qualifiers. Of course, 16 teams have already qualified for the 2026 Global Trophy Finals in a couple of weeks' time. It's now time to add 8 more to that list. This team doesn't have a chance, unfortunately, of making it to the Global Trophy Finals this year, as they finished 8th in the African Preliminary League. Our dud team, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, missing out in the end by just narrow margins as always. But Sierra Leone, they've had this a couple of times over the last few years where they should have done better than what they have done in the preliminary qualifiers, and they've just missed out.
Yeah.
They are a former Global Trophy finalist of sorts, so yeah, disappointing for them.
Yeah, I believe, wasn't it like 2020, I think they made it to the finals, I think.
It's certainly since it's been on YouTube, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. And next up, narrowly scraping through, but they did scrape it through regardless, Mauritania.
Yeah, managed to just about making it through, and yeah, they have an opportunity now to try and qualify for the Global Trophy Finals.
Certainly do. Next, it is, well, a team that started off well in the preliminary league, but then really faded away. Congo.
Yeah, they did start really well. They were up in that kind of top 3, weren't they, for the longest time? They'd already got the points on the board, so it wasn't really a major issue, but I think they left it a little bit too close for comfort, let's say that much.
Maybe a little bit, yes. Next up, finished 5th in the preliminary league, it is Sudan.
Yeah, not South Sudan, as we have wrongly affiliated them with before. But no, Sudan did a decent job, didn't they? I think, was it them who had the slow start and they just rocketed through? I can't remember. Was it them?
Might have been, yeah. There certainly is one in the Americas preliminary league that we did not realise they actually did have such a motor through. But we'll get to that next week.
Yes, we will.
Next up, finished 4th. A good result for this team, Namibia.
Yeah, Namibia, of course, did a pretty decent job to qualify in 4th place in the end. They'll be happy with that. They'll be happy that they are able to compete in the African section this week.
Definitely. Next up, finished 3rd altogether in the preliminary league. It is Comoros being represented once again by Azerbaijan.
Yes, of course, Comoros, the former African champions back in 2022, that time represented by Lithuania. They will be hoping that their run with Azerbaijan can continue a little bit longer.
Certainly could. Next up, finished 2nd. A good result for this team. Finished 2nd in the preliminary league last month. It is Big Green themselves, Libya.
Yeah, Libya, of course. Let's talk about them. They did a pretty decent job, didn't they? They were right there for the big prize, weren't they, in the preliminary league? Didn't quite manage it, but solid effort nonetheless.
Solid 2nd. And, well, of course, speaking of big, Rwanda finishing 9th in the preliminary league. They got
Yeah.
close, very close.
They did get close. We almost saw some more big R action, but didn't quite manage it.
Certainly. And last but not least, well, this, not really surprising this, the team that went on to win the preliminary league, I think they've won it before this year,
Yeah,
but
they
yeah,
have.
they've done it again. Zimbabwe.
Yeah, no doubts about that. They were also they were the team to beat when they've got the experience of getting that title over the line. So the fact that they were able to win quite happily is a decent result for them.
Okay, now we get to the 16 teams that didn't make it to the top 8 of the African qualifiers last year, but are high enough in FIFA rankings. And obviously, the Africans' FIFA rankings have massively changed over the course of this current year.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's a World Cup year, right? So everyone's qualifying for the World Cup.
Well, they had the AFCON as well, didn't they?
No, that's in a few weeks' time. Actually, it is this year.
Well,
It's 25 into 26, but it's
yeah.
it's a well because
they've
they've
had
just finished
qualifications for AFCON. Sorry.
Yeah. So they've there is a because it's the World Cup qualifiers have just finished. Obviously, a lot of things have now changed in the African section in terms of their rankings.
Well, since at this point, obviously it's end of October for us. How about England being the first European team through to the World Cup final?
Things going all right, aren't they? It might not be the most pretty football under Tommy Tickle, but the guy knows how to win. That's the thing, and I think there's a real opportunity for England to go and win the World Cup. Dare I say it?
There always is, and then we'll reach the final or semis and lose.
I'd say more than normal though. I think the squad's there. It's just they just need to do it, don't they? That's the problem.
Yeah. So anyway, with that, we kick off with Tanzania.
Yeah, Tanzania, FIFA ranked 103, only a couple of places above, well, they were 103 when we started recording back in July. There were only a couple of spots above Comoros, so in a couple of years' time, we might see Comoros automatically qualifying.
Certainly could when it comes to that, and not needing to go through the potential heartbreak of the preliminary league.
Yeah.
Next up, it is, FIFA ranked 99, at least when we started this, it's Mozambique.
Mozambique, yeah. Mozambique, of course, not one of the stronger teams in Africa. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Chris, would you not agree?
Oh no, they're giants. Don't you know?
It just feels a bit sad that teams like Mozambique and Equatorial Guinea, those two in particular, pre-qualified due to FIFA ranking when they're probably not one of the better teams. Let's say that much.
Yeah, but still, well. They might just be filler here, but you never know. They may have a couple of good runs and actually make it to the finals. You never know. All you need is just the luck of the draw sometimes with this.
Absolutely.
Next up, probably another team you can add to that list. Ranked 96 in the FIFA rankings, at least at that point. Benin.
Yeah, Benin. Again, I think, have they recently qualified?
I don't think Benin have.
I know Gabon have.
Gabon
They've got
have.
similar. Yeah, I can't remember. We've done so many of these at this point.
Yeah, I don't believe Benin have, but Gabon have.
Okay.
When it comes to that. Next up, it is Equatorial Guinea, the formerly mentioned Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, one of the only Guinea. They're the only Guinea in it this year.
Nope, we do have Guinea, regular flavored Guinea. Guinea-Bissau didn't make it. They were knocked out in preliminaries.
Yes, they
are. Next up, it is Uganda.
Uganda again. I want to say they may have qualified in recent years. Have they? I know the next team definitely have Zambia.
Yeah,
they definitely have.
I don't believe Uganda have, not recently, but yeah, next team Zambia definitely have.
Yeah, Zambia. I think they were semi-finalist a couple of years ago.
Might have been. Yeah, might have been like 23 or something.
Yeah, I want to say they got to the top 4. Like I said, I can't remember. It's been so long. We've done so many of these at this point. I can barely remember.
Yeah. Anyway, we were just speaking about regular flavored Guinea. There is regular flavored Guinea.
Yeah, FIFA rank 81, at least in July when we captured the data for this competition. Not the strongest of teams in the competition, but they're not terrible.
No, I mean they sometimes they're sort of like either like round 1, round 2. When it comes to that, at Guinea. So, again, could be just a couple of good runs and they could be there.
Absolutely.
Next up, a team that has recently qualified for the World Cup, in fact. It's Ghana.
Yeah. Down in, well, again, at the time, FIFA ranked 71. It surprised me how low ranks Ghana are these days.
I mean, they have made it to multiple World Cups in this century.
Yeah, like they were quarter-finalists that were knocked out in the 2010 World Cup. They were knocked out by the Luis Suarez handball.
Yeah, and they were
that was
group
Ghana,
stage
so
last time round.
Surprised me how low they are. Interesting.
Certainly is. Next up, a team making their debut in the World Cup in 2026.
Yes.
It's Cape Verde.
Cabo Verde. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, where I went and my wife and I spent our honeymoon. It was a beautiful country. It's a little set of islands just off of the west coast of Africa.
I believe at this point they're one of currently 3 teams that are making their debut in the World Cup in 2026, I think. I think the other 2 are Uzbekistan and Jordan.
Yeah, well, the format expanding has definitely helped with that, I think. But the other thing to note about Cabo, I don't know if you've seen the story about the Irish footballer who plays for Cabo Verde, or like the player who plays in Ireland. Apparently, he put on his LinkedIn profile that he was of Cabo Verdean descent, and the manager got in touch with him via LinkedIn. He disregarded it initially, and then he messaged him again, being like, "No, really, I need an answer." And he's like, "Oh, you're serious?" And then now he plays for the Cabo Verde national team.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, and apparently he's one of their stalwarts. It's a really cool story, and that, the fact that they've qualified for the World Cup is incredible.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
First time in their history as well for Cabo Verde. But
it's a tiny little set of islands. There's nothing there. The only thing their entire economy is fishing and tourism. That's it. That's all they can do.
Sounds like Grimsby, and they beat Manchester United.
It's true. It is so true.
And this is recently from last week. Crew beat Grimsby, so that means we're better than Manchester United.
It's true.
What do you say now, Nick Powell, you bell end? Anyway,
he hasn't played for Man United for about 15 years, has he?
Don't care. He should have stayed. Should have bloody stayed. He wouldn't have lost hope at Leicester and then moved to Stoke, of all places. You're actually doing pretty good in the Championship so far, actually, to be fair.
They are, yeah. They are.
Next up, Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, yeah. Again, a team that in recent years have qualified for the finals on a couple of occasions. So, no slouches, Burkina Faso. Ones to watch, certainly.
They were also in the 2022 Champion of Champions as well, so...
They were, yeah.
Certainly were. Next up, it is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, I do believe Congo DR have made it to a Global Trophy Finals very recently, I think. Either them or Congo have.
Maybe it was just normal Congo, I think.
Might have been.
I think it was normal Congo. Via the play-ins, I think.
Yeah. Next up, finally, we got up some actual notes for this team, at least. It's South Africa. How are they ranked 56th?
Who knows? Stephen Pienaar don't play for them anymore, I guess.
That's true.
And well, they are also former African champions back in 2021. On one occasion, they are African champions as well. South Africa, they're a weird side in this game. They're good, clearly, because they've won the African section, but they're not like incredibly strong.
I think they have made a couple of quarterfinals before. I think as well. I think they've made like 2 or 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Without seeing the stats things, of course. But I believe it's about 2 or 3 they've made quarterfinals. Next up, FIFA rank number 54, Mali.
Yeah, Mali are a pretty good footballing team these days. Players like, back in the day, Naby Keita and Yves Bissouma playing for them.
Next up, I mean, this team's got to get back to doing stuff, really, doesn't it? Rank 51, Cameroon.
Yeah, Cameroon. I mean, they've slipped down the global trophy rankings quite significantly as well. Back in the formative years of the global trophy before we came onto YouTube, Cameroon were the big dog in Africa. They had won 5 of the first 10 African championships. Okay, so they won in 2005, 7, 9, 12, and 14. They were runners-up on 2 previous occasions. Cameroon.
Back to back, I think, as well, weren't they, in the global trophy finals?
Yeah, possibly.
Were they 2006, 2007?
Something like that.
I believe.
And then since going on to YouTube, they have not won a single African championship, which is astonishing. So, this is I believe the 10th one going on to YouTube.
Yes.
Or 9th.
Yeah, I believe it's the
10th.
10th. Yeah, we started in 2017, so yeah, this will be the 10th one, I think.
So since then, nothing. So yeah, strange case, Cameroon. Very strange case. Will be interesting to see how they get on this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they were one of the teams in our overview that had not made it to a Global Trophy Finals in a while, even though they're highly ranked. Czech Republic is one of those as well, but they've qualified for this year, so can Cameroon do the same?
Maybe it's time for a comeback, maybe for Cameroon.
Certainly could be for the former one and only African giants. Next up, ranked 49, Tunisia.
Yeah, Tunisia, a decent team again. Never won an African section, although not many teams have, truth be told. But yeah, Tunisia, pretty solid team. They do tend to qualify if they don't fight, one of the big dogs early on.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Tunisia are certainly a team that, really, it's a coin flip whether they make it or not. But they have made multiple. Next up, the highest ranked team in Africa that didn't make it to the top 8 last time round. It's Algeria, also in the World Cup again. Yeah,
good team as well, Algeria. Obviously, historically they've had players like Riyad Mahrez and the like, but again, the ones to watch out for in this competition, that they're no slouches. I think, was it a couple of years ago they beat France? Maybe, or was that Morocco? Yeah, it was them, wasn't it? Was it 2018 they beat France?
Might have been, yeah.
On the way to get into the top 8, lost it out of there as well. But Algeria, no slouches.
Certainly not. Good placing for Algeria. We'll see how they do in the tournament. Right, now we get to our top 8. These top 8 made it to the top 8 of the African section last time round, which means regardless of your FIFA rankings, you are allowed to enter at this stage for the next tournament. We kick off with, usually, perennial pre-qualifiers, Kenya, rank 109.
Yeah, had they not qualified last year, they would have been in the pre-qualifiers this year between Namibia and Sudan in terms of FIFA ranking. So yeah, they earned their place here, which would have meant obviously that Comoros would have automatically qualified via FIFA ranking. So there you go. Just to give you a bit of an indication.
Yeah.
Again, Kenya, one of those strange teams where kind of like South Africa, where they've got capability, but they're not one of the stronger teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when it comes to Kenya. I mean, Kenya were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Angola. Again, another team that have been pre-qualifiers at points. But they've also made it to Global Trophy Finals before. I think like 3 or 4 for Angola.
They're not terrible. Let's say that much. The fact that they're in the pre-qualifiers normally is a bit of a harsh situation for them, really.
Yeah, certainly is. Next up, controversy creates cash. It's Morocco.
Yeah, and also Morocco, the highest FIFA ranked team in the entirety of Africa.
Yeah, I mean, the only African team to have made it to a World Cup semi-final, so...
Yeah. And what a team it is as well, right? The Moroccan team is unbelievably good.
Beat Portugal, and that made everyone happy.
Except Cristiano.
Well, okay, yeah, he was very, very unhappy.
Yes, he was literally crying in the tunnel.
That's true. Well, at least we got a GIF-worthy thing out of it.
True.
Next up, it is Gabon.
Yeah, Gabon. Again, one of those stronger teams in Africa. Never won an African championship, but they have been, perennial top 8s in this competition.
Certainly have, and they've made it to multiple Global Trophy Finals as well, have Gabon. So, good luck to them. Next up, FIFA rank 34. Also have finally made it back to a World Cup for next year, Egypt.
Yeah, obviously the nation represented by Mo Salah. I think it's good that he's going to be at a World Cup, right? I think it would be very, very unfair for a player of his quality to have never played in a World Cup.
Hasn't he been there before though, or was he injured during that one?
I don't think Egypt haven't been to a World Cup for years.
I think Egypt have. I think weren't they in 2018?
Let me do some quick googling, and I'll let you know.
Was it 2018s, 2014s? 2018s, I think they might have been in the World Cup. I think. I seem to remember Egypt.
Carry on. And I'll see if I can find out.
Yeah, I seem to remember Egypt being in a World Cup recently. Probably not the last World Cup, but I think
they were in 2018. I'm lying to you, but
there you go.
Oh yeah, he did. He was there, but this is only the 5th time they've ever made it.
Yeah,
or the fourth time they've ever made it. So 1934, 1990, 2018, and 2026 are the only times they've ever made it.
Yeah, well, They're getting the most out of Mo Salah before he
Called it a day.
Yeah, calls it a day. But yeah, when we're recording this, Liverpool's not doing very good in the league anymore.
Yeah, but they're playing Villa next week, so obviously, well, as we record this, so you'll
Like-
soon see.
Yeah. Hang on a minute, but like because Villa at one point, like in the first couple of games, was essentially
I thought we were
laughing-
going down. I
Yeah.
thought we were getting relegated. I
the
thought that was
laughing
it.
stock of the Premier League. You can't score a goal. They got positive goal difference now, and they're what, top 10?
Yeah, we beat Man City.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Amazing how things can change. And what, Liverpool's lost 4 in a row after winning 5 in a row?
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Oh, Brentford. Alongside a bunch of others, to be fair. Anyway, next up, Angola. A team that certainly, since we've been on YouTube, has been a really good team, actually, in Africa. They've qualified quite a lot.
Yeah, they have. Not any slouches, certainly, but I wouldn't say they're one of the powerhouses of Africa until now, really. They did make the semi-finals last year, beating Kenya, but as I said, Kenya are not one of the stronger teams. But Angola, not terrible. I remember they were a dud, I want to say, once upon a time in the finals, and the fact that they've now made multiple since then kind of shields them from that fate happening in the future. So yeah, good for them.
I think it was their first final. They were the dud. Then they qualified the year after. And then they qualified another. I think they've done it 3 times, I think. But they have made it to round 2 once, I believe.
Yeah.
Next up, finished 3rd, is the Ivory Coast. They lost to the eventual winner, Senegal.
They did, yes. Of course, Ivory Coast winning their first ever African Championship back in 2024. So, recent success for Ivory Coast. One of the best teams in Africa, and it's a crying shame they've only ever won 1 African title.
We never know. It could be a slow start for them, but they may be on their way now. They've certainly had a good run of form over the last couple of years. Next up, rank number 2, and well, this could be, they just need 1 win. But this could be the second team to reach 100 wins here in the Global Trophy. It's the runners-up of the Global Trophy 2 times now, Nigeria.
Yeah, of course, they were runners-up last year, missing out in the final, narrowly missing out in the final to Mexico. Probably went into the final as favourites, all things considered. Of course, they beat Argentina on the way to the final last year. And they suffered that unfortunate fate of losing their local qualifier final and then also losing the Global Trophy final in the same year. So horrendous luck. But as Chris said, Italy didn't manage to get the 100th win in the European section just yet. They're also on 99. So maybe Nigeria could be the second ever team to reach 100 wins after Argentina.
Yep. Oh, they only need 1. Also, I believe after last year, after beating Angola, they have the record for the biggest win in a qualifier semi-final, which was 11-1.
Yeah, insane result last year against Angola, wasn't it? Absolutely insane.
They seem to spend all their goals on that, and not the final where they lost to the new champions of Africa, Senegal.
Yeah, Senegal have kind of gone from strength to strength in recent years. They have won 2 of the last 3 African titles, and they're also on to 5 titles all in all, which means they are now level with Cameroon for African title successes.
Sure are. Okay. Are we going to get it? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
No need for a save. I did save just in case, though. Because I know what this game's
Oh, I
like.
tell you what, there's some big hitters early on here. Look at this.
Oh, geez, yeah, there are some beefy ones in here. Ghana, Senegal, Cameroon, Ivory Coast. Jesus. All right.
Nigeria, Burkina Faso as well in there.
Yeah.
So all the big dogs are in the first half of the bracket, which means we could get a surprise finalist.
Oh, God, does that mean Cameroon's going out again?
They might. They
might.
really might.
Well, we kick off with Equatorial Guinea versus Angola.
Yeah, a team who, of course, did qualify last year, finished in the top 4. They'll have to do some serious work if they get there this year.
Certainly will. 5-0. Angola through to round 2. And it could be a rematch. It's Burkina Faso versus Nigeria.
Of course, Nigeria do have to get past Burkina Faso, which isn't a guarantee.
Certainly isn't. Burkina Faso have made it to a Global Trophy finals recently. Both teams were in the Champion of Champions. If Nigeria win this, it's their 100th win in the Global Trophy. They've done it barely, but they're there. 100 wins for Nigeria, and they're through to round 2.
Congratulations to Nigeria on an incredible achievement. Fair play to them. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. Sudan get the dud against Sierra Leone. 2 preliminary qualifiers. So Sudan get the dub.
They do, but they could be staring down a potential Morocco match, which... There he is again.
Tough one. Yeah, honestly. This guy, man.
It's a new recording, so yep, he's back. I think he's just hard-coded in to be the start of each one.
That's good because every time we do a different recording session, we get to see him again.
Yeah, essentially when I load the game up, he's the first referee. Greedy bastard. What an arse. Bloody shooting Faroe Islands coach drivers and now head of Anko. Sod. Alright, Morocco. They've got Kenya. I mean, both teams made it to the Global Trophy Finals last time round. Both knocked out in the quarterfinals.
They did, yeah. Both of them, of course, top 8 finishes last year. One of them is going home in round 1 this time.
And it is Kenya. Morocco through to round 2 to take on Sudan. This could be still a very stacked Africa.
It could be. A good start for Morocco. They're a confidence builder against Kenya. They'll take on the pre-qualifying Sudan in the next round. This is probably the pick of the matches, isn't it, for the first round? I don't think there's going to be anything that could be topping this. Cameroon versus Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast, late bloomers, but always consistent. But they have started to motor forward recently. Cameroon, early starters, not been great recently at all. It's Cameroon! Ivory Coast are gone, and Cameroon make it to round 2 to take on either Mozambique or Cabo Verde.
Yeah, it's a delightful fixture next up for Cameroon after that initial tricky start. Mozambique and Cape Verde. Who goes through?
Who goes through? It is Mozambique through to round 2 to take on Cameroon. Can Cameroon... This is their best chance to make a Global Trophy Finals again, surely.
Yeah, in a long old time as well. Next up, it is the champion Senegal. They take on a tricky Ghana team. Ghana, of course, never won the African section.
Certainly, but obviously that giant killing run from 20 years ago, they want to maybe replicate that, and could they kick it off with Senegal? No, Senegal through. The champions survived to take on either Uganda or the Democratic Republic of Congo. An easier match than Ghana for Senegal.
You have to think so, wouldn't you? I'd say probably the favourites are DR Congo here, but it's not a pick. You know, it's not a star-studded match really. This one, is it?
Certainly isn't. It is the Democratic Republic of Congo 1-0 through to round 2 to take on Senegal. Next is Benin versus South Africa.
Of course, South Africa, former African champions in their own right back in 2021. Can they get past a Benin banana skin?
Might be. 2-1 barely, but they are through. Ooh, Comoros versus Zimbabwe.
The preliminary league winners, Zimbabwe, taking on Comoros, represented by Azerbaijan, former African champions as well, back in 2022.
First versus third in the preliminary league. And it is Zimbabwe. Outgo Comoros in round 1.
Bit of a shocker for Comoros this time around. It's a shame for them.
Namibia are next up against Gabon.
Yeah, Gabon, of course, finished in the top 8 last time around. They'll be hoping to replicate that feat this time.
2-0, they're through, and it's Mali-Zambia next. Okay, we're not getting too many of the big guys now.
Yeah, of course, all the big guns have already gone. Mali, higher FIFA ranking, Zambia have qualified for the Global Trophy Finals in recent years.
Certainly have. It is Zambia on penalties, but they are through. Libya, second place in the preliminary league versus Egypt, who lost to Senegal in the quarterfinals of the African section last time round.
Yeah, tricky one for Egypt. Not a guaranteed win, but they're probably going into this as favourites.
Certainly expect so. It is 4-1. Egypt through against Libya, and it's Tunisia versus Tanzania next.
Yeah, Tunisia again probably going into this one as slight favourites. Tanzania, of course, not known for their footballing prowess, but you never know.
Barely survived going into the preliminary league on their FIFA rankings, Tanzania. Well, they haven't made the most of it. 2-0, Tunisia through to round 2. Next up is Mauritania versus Congo.
Yeah, Mauritania and Congo, 2 pre-qualifiers, so we will have 1 pre-qualifier guaranteed through into the round of 16.
Congo finished higher than Mauritania in the preliminary league. Not this time, though. Mauritania through to round 2. Next up is Guinea versus Algeria. Interesting match, that.
Yeah, Guinea and Algeria both qualifying via FIFA ranking, both quite comfortably. Algeria, of course, the highest FIFA ranked team, not in the top 8 last time. They'll hope to correct that this time around.
Certainly the favourites here. And it is 2-1. Algeria through to round 2. Guinea, their run ends in their first match, and that is our second round.
Pretty strong
It
lineup
could be
if all
strong.
the big teams go through. Yeah, you know, you've got to look at. I mean, there's certainly scope here for a lot of the big teams to go through. Of course, we've lost Ivory Coast, but you know, there's still some strong contenders in there.
Certainly is still some big guns still in. Speaking of, maybe the biggest gun of them all, Nigeria versus Angola.
Of course, we said this match finished 11-1 last year to Nigeria. Can Angola plug the gap?
In the semi-finals, the top 4. Nope, it's worse. 12-1, and Nigeria go through to another Global Trophy Finals. Angola out in shame.
You are kidding me. That's hilarious. They thought, you know what? 11 wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Here comes 12. Nigeria comfortably, very comfortably through to the Global Trophy Finals again.
Impressive from Nigeria. They'll be obviously hoping to get their 9th African title. Standing in their way could be either Sudan or Morocco.
Morocco could sort out the controversy, to be honest, if they can just make it through here. That'd be nice. Thank you. I'll remember them this time round. Morocco through 4-0 into the quarterfinals.
Good job from Morocco. They are booking their tickets to the finals this time around.
Okay, this is big for Cameroon.
It is. Huge opportunity for them.
Cameroon, the fallen giants of Africa, take on Mozambique, who are certainly one of the lower-ranked teams still in this. All sides point to Cameroon winning this.
Surely Cameroon are the favourites going into this.
14-0! And Cameroon are back in the Global Trophy Finals for the first time in many a years.
Good run from Cameroon, and that's a big weight off of their shoulders as well. And one of the biggest scores of the year.
Certainly is, 14-0. Senegal, the reigning champions. We could have the reigning champions versus Cameroon in the quarterfinals, which could be massive.
Yeah, there's some really big teams still to come now. Though, you know, Senegal, one of the very biggest. They take on DR Congo. They've got to favour them again, surely.
Certainly you'd favour the champions. Barely, but they are through. 1-0, Senegal back into the Global Trophy Finals once more.
So halfway through the qualifiers for Africa, we have Nigeria, Morocco, Cameroon, and Senegal.
That is massive.
Bad run, is it? Yeah, really good.
And imagine that South Africa, Gabon, Algeria, and either Egypt or Tunisia, I think they're both quite good.
Yeah,
we'll join them.
I think the really missing is Ivory Coast, but of course they were knocked out by Cameroon.
Yep.
So South Africa then, over to you. The former winners of Africa in 2021 taking on the winners of the preliminary league in 2026.
Yep. A couple of times Zimbabwe have made it to the Global Trophy Finals, but this is a really tough opposition in South Africa. Barely through. Penalties decides it, and South Africa are also in the Global Trophy Finals. This is a stacked Africa so far.
Yeah, it's a really strong set of teams. Zambia take on Gabon next. Gabon last year were a quarter-finalist. Can they replicate that with a win here against Zambia?
No, they can't! Zambia knock out Gabon, and Zambia are in the Global Trophy Finals.
That's a bit of an upset, you have to say. Two very even teams, but Zambia get the dub over Gabon. FIFA ranked 83 through against Gabon. Gabon out. Well, to be fair, Gabon is FIFA ranked 80, so were FIFA ranked 80, so it's not a massive difference between the two today, but yeah, Zambia, well done.
But in the Global Trophy, yeah, Gabon's certainly the bigger team, and Zambia beat them on penalties. Well, Zambia, the first shock of this, through to the Global Trophy Finals.
Who will join them out of Egypt and Tunisia? I think they're neighbours geographically, Egypt and Tunisia.
Yep, two very solid sides here.
Yeah, I agree.
It's be a shame for one of them to lose out now. But it is going to be Tunisia. Egypt through on penalties and into another Global Trophy Finals. Consecutive for Egypt.
2 years in a row. Fair play to Egypt for that one. That's a big result for them. Tunisia go home with nothing. Mauritania and Algeria. Who will be the last African qualifier?
At the moment, we've had no preliminary team go through
I'd
from
say this
Africa.
is the last chance, isn't it, for a preliminary team?
Last chance is Mauritania, who scraped through in 7th. Algeria, the highest ranked team, not in the top 8 last year. Oh, and they're not making it easy for themselves, are they, Algeria? But they have made it through on penalties against Mauritania.
Yeah, 4 penalty results back-to-back there. So you'd say probably the only real shock there was maybe Zambia over Gabon, but that's a pretty even match in its own right.
Yeah, definitely. But this is that's a good top 8 for Africa. That is a massive top 8.
It's a really good top 8. It's a really good top 8.
All right, well, here we go. Nigeria versus Morocco.
Yeah, 2 big heavy hitters at the top of the table. Let's see how they get on for a spot in the semis.
It is Nigeria 2-0. They're looking for their 9th.
They really are. Cameroon versus Senegal. Both of these two are on now 5 African titles. They are both a little bit in Nigeria's shadow. They'll be hoping to upset the apple cart. Both of them get past, first of all, their rival on 5, and then take on Nigeria in the semis.
Senegal, the upcoming giant. Cameroon, the fallen giant. Which one of these two is going to take on Nigeria in the next round? It is going to be Cameroon. They are in the semi-finals.
What an upset from Cameroon. In recent years, the African champions fall Senegal. South Africa versus Zambia for a place in the semi-finals. It's a former winner, though, in South Africa, so they'll probably be the favourites going into this one.
Certainly would, but Zambia did knock out Gabon to get to this far. They could take out South Africa as well, who's only won 1 title. Not this time. South Africa through to the quarterfinals, looking for their 2nd.
Yeah, they are. They'll be taking on either Egypt or Algeria, 2 of the Northern African teams. So two countries kind of separate, completely opposite ends of the continent, really.
Certainly are. I believe neither of these two have won an African title yet.
They haven't, no. So this will be the only non-former African winner still left in.
Certainly. It is Algeria 3-1 into the semi-finals.
Good result for Algeria there. They go, and they will play South Africa in the semis. But this is the big match that we all want to see. We want to see this every year, don't we? Nigeria and Cameroon, the 2 big African powerhouses.
Will the Phoenix rise for Cameroon, or will Nigeria finally... Will they make it their 3rd final in a row? It is Nigeria. Cameroon out in the semi-finals. Nigeria, 3 African finals in a row for them now.
Stunning, but they have not won any of them to date. Maybe 3rd time lucky. South Africa, the former winners, taken Algeria, the only non-winner left in.
Certainly are to be big for Algeria if they can get a win here. They don't. South Africa looking for potentially their 2nd.
Well, it's either number 2 for South Africa or number 9 for Nigeria.
Nigeria on 103 wins. Can they make it 104? No, they can't!
No!
South Africa have done 2! Nigeria failed for the 3rd year in a row to win their 9th. South Africa, 2-time African champions now.
Wow. That is an upset. Goodness me. South Africa, for the 2nd time, are African champions.
And for the 3rd time, Nigeria have made it to the finals of the African section and lost.
You know what's incredible? This is the 3rd final in a row they've lost as well, because obviously they lost the Global Trophy final.
Yeah, it is.
Last year.
3 finals in a row. Are they bottlers at this point now?
I mean, you gotta start asking the question. I do want to correct something. So, by the way, they've only won 7 African titles, not 8. I do apologise.
Okay. But yeah, but still, they were going for their 8th. They've been going for their 8th for many a year. But no, South Africa win on penalties to become, well, for the 2nd time, African champions.
Incredible performance as well. They had an easier run, let's say, than Nigeria did, but take nothing away from South Africa. They absolutely earned that, didn't they?
Certainly did for South Africa. Well, folks, with that, 3 of our finals, or 3 of our qualifiers are now down. We have 1 more to go, which will be the Americas qualifiers next week. And then the week after that, we will have our 32 teams fighting it out for the 22nd Global Trophy Championship. 8 teams have now been added in, which makes our total 24. And next week, we'll add in our final 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, next week, we'll see the return of our champions, Mexico, of course. The surprise winners of 2025. And, of course, let's not forget the #1 ranked team, Argentina, the first ever team to get to 100 wins. Now, of course, joined by Nigeria. Argentina will be sniffing out, hopefully trying to get... Well, the issue that they've also got is Brazil. Brazil have won the last 2 Americas titles. No Americas team has won 3 on the spin. Not even Argentina.
Yep, and Argentina's
Brazil
won
have the chance to
11.
hold... No, exactly. And the thing is, Argentina have won 2 back-to-back several times. They will be hoping to hold that above their continental rivals as a badge of honor. So let's see.
We'll see next week. A lot of interesting things. 3 big teams, of course. 3 current champions. One's a champion, one's the Global Trophy champion, and the other is the current Americas champion. And then we've got the rest of the field as well, who could also make their mark on the Americas qualifiers. But that will be next week. Until then, folks, I'm Masterath.
I've been Sven-Göran 64.
And we'll see you next week for the final qualifiers of the 2026 Global Trophy. We'll see you then.